Picture this, you open two job postings for the exact same role and one demands hands-on Snowflake while the other insists on a strong Databricks and Spark background. So which one do you actually learn first? Here's why this question feels so heavy. Both Snowflake and Databricks anchor huge fast-growing job markets across nearly every industry you can name. So the fear is real. Pick wrong and you've poured months into a tool that doesn't pay off. But let me reframe it for you right now. This was never an either or decision for the rest of your career. It's simply about which one you learn first because you will very likely meet both eventually. So let's start with what Snowflake actually is. At its heart, it's a cloud data warehouse you talk to in plain SQL and it's built in three layers. At the top, cloud services handles the optimizer, security, metadata and transactions. In the middle sits compute, the virtual warehouses you spin up and down and size on their own, and underneath storage holds your columnar data and scales by itself. Here's the big idea, storage and compute scale independently. You pay for exactly what each one needs. So what about Databricks? Think of it as a lakehouse built on Spark. It begins with a data lake, just files sitting in cloud object storage. Delta Lake then adds an ACID layer right on top of those files. Spark clusters bring their distributed compute. And from there, three doors open: notebooks, ASQL warehouse and machine learning. So it's really one platform for engineering, analytics and ML, all under a single roof. Let's put them side by side. On primary language, Snowflake is SQL first. While Databricks leans on Python plus SQL for the core user, Snowflake fits the analyst and the BI developer. Databricks is home for the engineer and the ML practitioner. Their sweet spots differ too. Snowflake shines at warehousing and analytics, Databricks at big data engineering and machine learning. And the learning curve, Snowflake is gentle, Databricks is steeper. Notice I haven't declared a winner because there isn't one. They are two strong tools with different defaults. Here's Snowflake in about 6 lines. First, you spin up compute on demand, create warehouse, give it a size, done. Then you run a perfectly ordinary query, select region, sum of revenue, group by region. That's it. No clusters to manage and no Python required. You describe the warehouse and Snowflake runs it. So if you already know SQL, you are productive on Snowflake almost immediately. Here is that same job, but in Databricks, you read your source data into a data frame with spark.read. You transform it using the Spark API, group by region, sum the revenue. Then you write the result out to a delta table. More power, yes, but also more moving parts. Clusters, Python, and Spark are all in play here. It's more capable for big data and ML work, but a steeper climb to get started. So here's the decision tree that actually settles it. It starts with one question: what's your background? If you come from SQL, analytics or BI, start with Snowflake. It's your home turf. If your background is Python, machine learning or heavy engineering, start with Databricks. That's where you're already headed. And if you're brand new and you just want to get hired fast, start with Snowflake, then add Databricks. Your starting point depends on the skills you already bring to the table. So here's the honest rule, the one nobody likes to say out loud. Learn the jobs you want are actually asking for. Go open the job boards for your city and your target companies and just tally how often each tool shows up. That count is your real signal because real hiring data outweighs every internet argument about which platform is somehow better. The market decides this, not a comment thread. And here's something most comparisons miss entirely. These two are converging. Snowflake added Snowpark and Cortex AI, bringing Python and AI right into the warehouse. Databricks added fast SQL warehouses, stepping onto Snowflake's turf. So the overlap in the middle keeps growing. SQL, Python and AI, shared by both, which means whichever one you learn first makes the other far easier to pick up later. Your effort is never wasted. So let's make it personal. Pick the persona that sounds like you. If you're an analyst or a BI developer, go Snowflake first. SQL is your home turf and you'll be productive on day one. If you're an aspiring ML or data engineer, go Databricks first. Spark, notebooks and machine learning are exactly where you're headed. And if you're a career switcher, go Snowflake first to get hired fast. Then add Databricks to round out your profile. Before you go, 3 quick things not to do. First, don't try to learn both at once. Splitting your focus just slows you down on both. So go deep on one first. Second, don't pick based on hype. Debate threads and trend cycles won't get you hired. And third, don't wait for the perfect choice. There isn't one. Start, ship something, and decide the rest later. So here's the whole thing in 10 seconds. SQL or analytics right now. Go Snowflake, Python or machine learning. Go Databricks. Genuinely unsure, Snowflake first for that gentle on ramp. And here's the one line to remember. You can't really pick wrong here, you can only pick late. So whichever path you picked, there's a complete hands-on course waiting for you, the Snowflake Masterclass and the Databricks Complete Platform, both linked right below this video. And if this helped you finally decide, subscribe, because every week we go deeper on the tools that actually move your data engineering career forward. I'll see you in the next one.